going into this today, I feel really good.
You haven't been nervous about reading for so long.
Oh.
Like, I still can't believe that, like, last year, I'd be, like, trying to calm you down, like, through conversation. You've got so much more confident. It's really amazing how you've blossomed.
It's nice.
Do you notice the difference with your...
Oh, yeah.
Like, just generally, like, over the last year?
For sure.
With yourself?
I feel a lot more calm, a lot more refined, a lot more direct.
Well, that's why you've got more confident, is because your trust has been validated and it's become stronger with yourself.
The only time I really truly get nervous is that moment between the knock and the doors opening, and there's just that moment where it's quiet and I can hear the person walking, and I just, like, my gut drops every single time, too. Like,
Do you
every
still
time.
get that? Every time you're about to open the door and
Yes.
find out who it is?
Every time. Hello, how are you? I'm Tyler.
I'm Jenna. Meet you. I'm Jenna Dewan Tatum. I'm a dancer and actress. Tyler might know me from Step Up. My husband, Channing Tatum. I also danced in many different things, like So You Think You Can Dance and shows like that. So I think it's absolutely possible that Tyler will not recognize me. I'm betting that he won't.
Awesome.
Excited.
Yay.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, so wonderful to meet you.
You too.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. I'm really curious to see what's gonna come through.
Me too.
I feel like the second you open the door, I already had like a bunch coming through, so we'll jump right into it.
So in the back, I have my mom, Nancy, and we have just some closure that was sort of wanted, and we were sort of inspired to see if we could find. So I knew this would be really important and beautiful experience for us to do together.
I oftentimes will hold on to objects, and that can sometimes help me make more of a direct connection. But in this case, it's actually unique because I have so much coming through. I'm gonna just naturally kind of do it on my own, and then maybe go to objects.
Sure.
But I'm just gonna kind of see where we naturally go, and we'll go from there. All right? Immediately, one of the strongest impressions that I was feeling like I was being pulled to was actually connected to your mom's side of family. I had this woman who's like trying to knock at my door.
Yes, yes.
And she's coming through, and she's cute. She's like, "Don't forget about me! Don't forget about me!"
I think I know who that is.
This is the most random thing. Did you bring any objects for her?
Yes. Well, here. So this was hers.
Great. Oh, so cute.
I know, right? And
Perfect.
This was
Nice.
hers.
This, we'll see where this takes us. Okay. This is actually interesting because when she comes through, she almost has the energy of someone who would have been a good teacher.
She was.
Because I feel like it's like I have all these like kids, and she's surrounding herself with children. She's acknowledging a darn elementary school.
Yeah, she was a teacher. She taught
literally.
for a period of time. Yeah, she literally was a teacher.
Literally.
She taught Spanish. Yeah, and but she is like the ultimate mama. You know,
Right.
she loved kids. She was great with kids.
Oh, I love that. That makes sense.
That's cool.
Keep in mind, as she's coming through, she's making a connection to mom very strongly, and I'm wanting reference to mom. The feeling that comes across with this, she's like having me talk about all of these times where she's tried to come through basically and give little signs and indications she was around.
Yeah.
If you've ever felt anybody, it's her, because she's the one person that's gonna give those little like connections, those little God winks, little like synchronicities. The way this comes across is she is kind of giving me more the impression of like, I come through to her directly on the other side.
Yeah, she does. She really does.
So cute. She was with you on your way here. It's like a funny thing. So, who would this be?
That would be my grandmother. I was 17, 18 when she passed. I was like just about to graduate high school, and it was really tough because I was so very close to her, and she was living with us around the time. So I remember being in cheerleading practice, and my mom and my stepdad came in and said that she had passed, and you know, there was a before and there's an after. That was single-handedly one of the most important moments, sort of life-changing moments in my life.
She is having me acknowledge when it comes to a couple signs. For whatever reason, she's showing me all these bird wings. And this was something that actually on the way here was coming through before you even opened the door. And it was coming through of like an indication of coming through, but bird wings.
My mom sees cardinals, red cardinals for her.
Right.
It's like her sign. That is crazy. It happened like when I was giving birth and everything, and she's just like, it's like a sign that everything's okay.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
That's so cool.
That's so
cool.
sweet.
She'll love that.
I do love that.
When she comes through, she views your mother as being very much like her. Grandmother's just very specific with mom of being like, know what you can do and know what you can't, and don't feel like you have to do things that you don't have to do. But it's kind of also an association with after your grandmother passed, some of the responsibilities, some of like who does what. So there's an acknowledgement of that, but on a larger level, just kind of wanting your mom to know she's not worried about her, like she's okay. And acknowledging for her to just kind of take it easy and really just to know what's hers and what's not.
Yeah. Knowing that my grandmother has a very special connection with, and knowing that she really does connect directly with me, but sort of getting that validation from Tyler today will be, it just brings me so much joy and peace for the fact that she came through so strongly and immediately and with such accuracy. It's like unforgettable.
This is interesting. On the way here, this man was coming through that was connected to both my client and my client's mother. And he basically was the one who was instructing me to be like, all right, you're gonna show up, you're gonna go there, but you have to tell them both. And there's a significance of this man like trying to make a connection. He's very direct, and he really basically acknowledged that when it came to his passing, he wanted to ensure that that your mother would have had closure with this passing, because the feeling is like unresolved, unresolved, unresolved.
Oh my God, I can't believe this.
So yeah, there'd be that. But that's definitely one of the strongest energies to kind of pop in. Would that have been someone you would have been interested in hearing from?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Perfect. I have to figure out what this is. It's a very specific message. He's like,
that's how he is.
He's like very direct.
He's very direct, very specific.
Yeah. So he's having me actually talk about your mother, and then he's having me talk about her birth. And then there's a reference of, at the time of birth, I don't know if I'm ready, but I have to figure out why this is coming through. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
He is acknowledging a lot of love for your mother, but there's a feeling of the timing, almost like I wasn't ready, but I don't know why it's coming through in that way.
My brother is only 10 months older than me, and so I think it was a shock to my dad when I was born. We're Irish twins.
This is a guy who, I don't know why he's placing himself alone in the sense of like being a lone wolf. I don't know why this is coming through.
Yes, that would be my grandfather, and his name was Dudley. Lone wolf is a very good way to describe my grandfather too. And it's funny too, because that is so my grandfather.
But the thing that's coming through with this is someone who we would not have been able to see maybe as being emotionally unwell.
Yeah.
The thing is, and the way this comes across, is he's having me acknowledge that he was not in a coherent state of mind around the time that he passed, and he's actually having me acknowledge self-medication. And he's apologizing because he feels like the person he was when he was not self-medicating was very different than the person that he was when he was self-medicating. And I don't know if we know about the self-medication.
Yeah.
Or they may have dealt with a specific addiction problem. But there's an acknowledgement of like, I feel like I use something to kind of mask this pain.
From what I know, he dealt with mental illness, but it was something I don't think he was very, I think he felt a lot of shame about it and didn't really, I don't think towards the end I think he stopped taking his medication. And when my grandmother died, they were together for so long, they were inseparable, that I think he was so, distraught. We think we found out he stopped taking his medication, but we never really got a clear answer, so that's.
Yeah.
My grandmother and grandfather were together for an extremely long time. They were inseparable. And so when my grandmother died, it jarred the whole family, but it really was jarring for my grandfather. He didn't know what to do. So he sort of went down this path that Tyler picked up on that it wasn't him, and ultimately ended up in a very tragic death. So my family were never really given the healing and the closure that they wanted and that we all need.
There's an apology associated with this passing to your mother.
Jeez.
And I have to figure out why, but it's just coming through.
Yeah.
And it's very sincere, and the feeling is a reference of quick.
Yeah.
And there is a feeling of not getting that opportunity to say goodbye.
Oh God, now I'm gonna start. Here it comes. My mom's father, he passed away, but he committed suicide.
I'm sorry.
There was a horrible, horrible event, and it was so sudden, and it was abrupt, and it was a shock for my entire family.
The feeling that's associated with this is basically an apology, obviously, for this passing, but also the timing of this passing.
Yeah.
There is an acknowledgement of basically apologizing about the timing, and he's showing me a calendar, and he's emphasizing the calendar to a little bit of an extreme extent. That tends to indicate that around the time of death, there's another date or a significant thing, and the feeling is like, this is not when I should have died. because there's this other significant
Also,
thing.
my mom saw him, I think, a week before,
Right.
and that always sort of bothered her, and you know,
Right.
obviously, and was something that caused her a lot of pain. So I think that I'm feeling that maybe that's what it is, like saying,
Right.
I'm sorry that the timing was I think it made her feel as if she could have done something, or
Right.
there's something that could have been said or done.
When we lose people to suicide, oftentimes we are left asking, you know, what could I have done differently?
Yeah.
When he comes through, the acknowledgement is nothing could have been done differently on anyone's sake, that this
Right.
was about me.
It was all
And
about him.
He wants your mom to have that closure, if there can be any, just in knowing that it wasn't about her. There's nothing she could have done, and that's important.
Oh, that is that's so beautiful. There was no real emotional closure to this. So just the message that he got today will be ultimately extremely healing for all my family that watches this. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my mom out because she's
Great.
been watching and listening this whole time. She's gonna be so excited. Hey, Mama.
How are you? Oh, you're so beautiful. How are you?
She got a bit of like a laryngitis.
Oh, I'm
something.
so sorry. Oh, well, at least you could hear. That's good.
It was amazing.
So sweet. He came through with so much love, and I think his biggest message was just that apology. And
Yeah, that was important to me.
And the timing too.
It was so hard. It's so hard.
Oh, see,
I knew. It's hard. Yeah.
It is. It always is. But he's okay.
Good. So no,
He's proud of you.
it's important. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And wasn't there a timing thing around when he passed? Like you had seen him the week before, right?
I saw him 4 days before he passed, and he was actually, you said something about a calendar.
Yeah.
My dad was a calendar fanatic, like freaky.
Yeah.
And he had his calendar marked because he was leaving for Nantucket that Thursday. And that's the day he killed himself. And I saw him that Sunday before. And so the calendar had Nantucket, leave for Nantucket. He wasn't going to stop here, stop here. The calendar was like, you know.
That's so
It's-
interesting.
Yeah, he was they're always big in calendars, my mom and dad, so.
So awesome. Like, brought
Thank you.
such like healing and closure. Thank you.
It did, it really was. Wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
My room.
I knew she would have that calendar thing.
It happens.
So interesting. I liked that my grandfather sort of took over. He had a very strong message for my mom, which was my main intention because that was a very complicated death and a complicated situation in our family that's caused a lot of strife and a lot of pain. And so I'm just grateful for this moment because I think it'll change the way I view everything from this day forward.
I don't recognize you, but I feel like I've gotten to know your entire family.
Yeah, right, exactly. You're like, I don't know you, but I now know you.
And I love that because it's so special. Because now, at the end of this reading, when I ask you how
Yeah.
I might know you, I feel like I know your family. So it's awesome.
That's so cool. I love that. Well, I'm an actress and a dancer. I don't know if you ever saw a movie called Step Up.
Oh yes.
That's me.
Right,
And my
okay,
husband,
nice.
Channing.
Oh. Wait, Channing.
Yeah, Tatum, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, him.
So we
Okay.
do dancing, we do acting.
I'm blushing. Channing Tatum, how can I? Well, tell him I said hello.
Yes, I will. Thank you. That was
so sweet.
so incredible. Getting that connection to people that I love more than anything, my grandparents, I now feel much more calm and just grounded.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. That was amazing. He is so gifted, and that was so healing for my family. Oh, I'm so happy.
I always find that sometimes, the most traumatic passings are sometimes the strongest in the healing that they have to deliver. And that's why I get those impressions the strongest. And today was a testament of that. So I feel good. And maybe tomorrow's reading will be Channing. Maybe, probably not, but.